Hey, how you doing? So today I am going to show you how I use a DIY chiller, and you can have just about any kind of equipment for this. You don't have to have anything fancy at all. So first of all, you're going to need a chamber to put your ice in so that you have a cool chamber. I am using this cooler from camping days. When our kids were young, we used to take them camping, and this is what we put our food in. And I actually use it for making yogurt now. So it insulates quite well. The only problem is that it closes tight. So if I'm going to put the air pump in here, I'll have to leave a little bit of space for the tubing to come and the wiring to come in and out. So, but that's not a big problem because we're going to cover the whole thing with a blanket at the end anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some other things that you could use. An ice cream bucket. You put the ice. Oh, by the way, let me just show you the ice as well. So there's different ways of having ice. You can have these bought ones. Just something that I bought. An ice pack that is reusable, and you can put it at the bottom of the container. Or you can make your own ice. You know, this is a boost. I love these drinks, but they're so expensive. But anyway, if you're making your own, don't fill your container more than about 2/3 because ice will expand as it freezes. So you don't want it to burst your container, okay? So you've got your chamber, whatever, if you're using a cooler or an ice cream bucket or even a pot. Look at that. You could even use a pot, something that you can put your ice in. Now, if it's not an insulated container like the cooler is, I would recommend that you put it on top of a folded towel because the condensation is going to run down. Okay, so put it on top of a folded up towel so that all the condensation will run into the towel. So you've got your container, you've got your ice in the container, okay? Next, you're going to need the air. So what kind of contraption are we going to use for the air? So for this part, I really don't recommend that you use an expensive air pump because I'm not quite sure what humidity does to it, and it will be in a lot of humidity for the whole duration, right? So here I have a cheap one. I'm going to put that just above my ice. I can use a saucer or one of those cooling racks or something to just put this on top of the ice. Okay. And then, so my airline tubing comes out. I have a backflow valve so that water doesn't come from the aquarium because you don't want to drain your aquarium, right? You don't want the aquarium draining because of this. Then I have a valve thingy. What do you call these things? I never know what to call them. This is a valve thingy. So the air is coming in one side, and then you have different valves that you can have. And then the one that's going to the aquarium is coming out here. But the reason I do it on a valve bank, whatever it's called, the reason I do that is because depending on how cold your air chamber is, you may not want too much air going into the aquarium. It might be too cold, or it might be not cool enough. You have to monitor that. I can't tell you how much air to put in because it will be different for each of you. So when you first do it, monitor it, like check the temperature of your aquarium every half hour. And yeah, so then the air pump, the air stone goes into the aquarium. So the cold air, this will be in the cold air, okay? And wherever the air comes in, I don't know where the intake is, Anyway, it takes in cold air, goes down, the cold air goes down the tube, through the valve, where you can regulate it, through the valve, and into your aquarium. And then the cool air will cool your aquarium. Now you might ask, well, Paula, in nature, nobody has a cooler. Nature does not have a cooler on hot days. Well, for one thing, in nature, fish die. Okay, fish die like crazy in the nature. In aquariums, we want to keep them alive. The second point I want to make is that heat stress might not kill your fish, but it does shorten their lives. Okay, it will shorten the life of your fish to have them in heat stress. And the third point I want to make is oxygen levels are quite low in hot water. Okay, so your fish will not be only suffering from heat, it will be suffering from oxygen deprivation. Wow, that's a big word. Ooh. Anyways, so the fish will have heat stress and it will have oxygen stress, and that will shorten the life of your fish. Now, if I have a tank full of tetras, I don't care. I usually don't cool the tetra tanks at all. But because I have corridors in that tank, my new 55 has 6 corridors, I don't really want to lose them. It's just a thing because I have lost corridor. It's the one fish I've had trouble keeping in the past, let's say. And I just want to be able to see my corridors live as long as I do. I don't want them to die before me. And that's quite possible because they have very long lives usually. So my aim is to keep my fish alive for as long as possible. Okay? So that's why I would like to use a cooler. When the temperature starts getting into the 30s, I start to worry a little bit, yeah. And I definitely would not want the temperature to get anywhere near 40 or over 40. That's yogurt making temperature. Your fish is not made of milk. You're not going to make yogurt here. Did I tell you I use my cooler to make yogurt sometimes? That's what made me think of that. I'm crazy, I know. Yeah, so you don't want your fish to be at 40 for sure. And 35 is even, to me, it's a little bit high even. I would like to keep them down below 30. So between 20 and 30 is a good range. So in the winter time, if it's going to go low, don't let it go lower than 20. And in the summer, when it's going to get hot, don't let it get over 30. That's the way I keep my fish anyways. And I do have a record for having long-lived fish, and fish that have babies all the time. So just do what I tell you to, okay? Okay, guys and gals. There's a lot of girls in fish keeping now, eh? It's nice to see. I hope there's many more of us. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna be posting this Sunday night, but there'll be another video on Tuesday still, okay? So we'll see you then. Bye for now.